Life is good. Live from the Harp and Habit, Steubenville's Irish Pub. So happy to be here. Ohio Valley Sports Online, bringing you the Barons Coaches Show with head coach Joe Wallace, Franciscan University of Steubenville. Coach, welcome. Our first time back.
First,
I
yes.
love it here, man.
It's so cozy. He did a heck of a job with the upgrades in here. We're sitting in one of these authentic Irish snugs right now too, so it's nice and cozy. But yeah, Franco did a great job putting
He
this thing
did. I
together.
mean, he was excited to have us back. I love that fact. Got great hospitality here at the Harp and Habit, formerly Bennigan's.
Yep.
That Franco Carpellotti turned over to Steubenville's Irish Pub.
Yes,
you
sir.
got to come in and check it out. It's Irish music playing. I'm full-blooded Italian, and I feel right at home here.
It is. I mean, he just all the little details in this place. I mean, the food's great. I mean, but just the atmosphere in here, it's a little bit more cozier, smaller, and Franco did a great job.
This is part of your job, community relations. This is part of it. What's going on down here on the formerly the Green Strip, now Franciscan Square? It's big news for the city.
It is. Yeah, we got the skating rink that we kicked off back in November, and we've had great crowds. And it's just it's another piece just to have something here, for winter activity for the Ohio Valley, especially the Steubenville community here. And it's closed on Mondays right now, but the place has been packed, the weekends and through the holidays, and it's going to be opened up through February. So it's just a nice little addition. Yeah.
The university, or an extension of it, really got a good thing going down here on the Green Strip, and everything that they're doing that we've said it time and time again. That was a big accomplishment for the city.
Oh, yeah.
And only out of need, as a university, they're just getting too big, and they're growing, and they're expanding their wings and benefiting everybody, I believe.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you're right. Like, the whole thing is coming off the hill, and just it's spreading the university and the community together and just making it one big, thing together. Steubenville and the Franciscan are just should be a team, and the communities. Yeah, I mean, it's been great to see, especially the last 5 years, just to see the change in it all. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you're out front on that movement, Joe. That's a big deal as far as I'm concerned. Who got grandkids here, trying to develop something for the future, and you and Franco and Phil Rook and the whole movement down here. With the hotel and everything else that's going on. The Carpellotti family, you can't beat them.
No, you can't. And just, Franco being able to see the vision of what this area could be here and the continued growth of it as things kind of, start happening even more so. And, but, yeah, you said it, like having grandkids and, having kids here now, being here, a few years, it's a great place to raise kids and great place to have a family. And you want to continue to see that, and we've seen more influx of people moving into Steubenville from all over the country and to be in this community here, and it's really an exciting time to see that there's just growth all around this area right now.
It is. It's a beautiful thing to do. To see, with the involvement of the Barons, but when I talk Barons, I can't help myself but talking back, to the olden days. I mean, Billy DePiro was on, and I start naming that 65, 66 lineup, and he looked at me like I had three heads. Mm-hmm. But when you walk into Finnegan Fieldhouse, they're all in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
there,
no doubt.
So it's a big deal for me personally.
Yeah, it's great. There was a player on that team who grew up in Moundsville and went to Bishop Donnie. He was really just a great shooter, Bob Stroffus, and he lives in Texas now.
Oh, Bob Stroffus, I remember him.
Bob stays in touch with me still. Yeah,
you telling Ray Suckwatch, one of his fans, says hello.
Yeah, well, hopefully maybe he tunes in at some point here.
I like
but Bob
that.
still, he going back and forth. He watched our game Saturday, and it's good to see kind of that continued, they were the squad, man, back in the day.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I mean, it's great. I mean, I've told you this time and time again where, at least you have the attention of the media.
Yeah.
And that's a big accomplishment for Franciscan University, with you trying to turn a corner up there.
Yep.
Making memories for kids. I mean, those the 58 Club that you send out, I can't tell you how many parents I have sent that to, and they have brought their kids up.
Yes, exactly.
So, it's a great tool that you're using to get some young guys involved.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's what we want. Like, we're Steubenville's team. I mean, we're the Upper Ohio Valley's team. That's what we want it to be. And we want people to come in and take pride in watching us play and playing the way we do. We're going to play hard. We're learning right now as a younger squad, but we want people to enjoy that. And the more that come in, I mean, that's the better. It's supposed to be a community up here, and that's what we want it to be. Yep.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. And on behalf of Ohio Valley Sports Online, I want to tell all the parents of Barons this year, last year, and the year before, how much I appreciate you coming up to me at games and saying hello to me and introducing yourselves to you. I mean, it really means a lot to me. It means a lot to our business, and I know it means a lot to our relationship with the Barons.
Sure.
So
Definitely.
I want to thank you for that.
Yes, and we really this partnership has been great. Both ends, and we enjoyed it. We love having the local flavor in our gym from you guys and how you broadcast it and the excitement that comes with that. I mean, it's just perfect. Yeah.
Well, Joe, you're what are you now? 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
6 and 7. You're right around 500. We've seen you starting to play some, I think, good basketball. Yes. The biggest improvement I've seen. I mean, your effort's always been there. Yeah. Your defensive effort has always been there, as far as I'm concerned. But the biggest improvement I've seen to this part is offensively. You guys are putting the ball in the hole.
Well, yeah, we did on Saturday, and I mean, you're gonna get mad how I say this though, but our defense allowed that to start.
Absolutely, your defense dictates your offense.
It does, and that's who we are. That's how it goes. So we're stringing stops up. We can get our running game going, and our running game can be deadly if we continue. If we're getting 1 or 2, 3 stops in a row. And we have 2 guards and Josh Zimmer and Sawyer Butler who just want to push it hard every possession. And guys are running with them, and we're getting more comfortable playing that way. And we're taking advantage of that, and it's just making it even a tougher environment for teams to play, especially how on Saturday with how our defense was really flowing. Our rotations were great. We were creating turnovers out of it. And then, then we settled into half court, and I felt really comfortable with that too. I mean, we looked at ease at times. Not ease. I mean, it was hard, but there was really good flow and good togetherness in our half court offense on Saturday.
Well, I like the fact of you guys getting back and playing good, solid half court defense. I mean, I like that. But when you talk about Sawyer Butler, this kid is a freshman. Has really made an impact, man, and he's being recognized by the league. I know that.
Yeah, he has been. You go back to Wednesday and having Sawyer out and Josh out against Waynesburg. That's 2 tough pieces to take out of our lineup. But you look at the rest of the way that group stepped up and on the road having a 7-point lead. Grinding the game down a little bit more and trying to get more physical with it. I mean, I was really, the result wasn't there. There was a lot of things that went kind of wrong in that second half. But for a group like that to just pivot and say, we're going to go out without 2 of the guys that handle the ball the most, like that not only on the offense end, but they do a great job on the defense end. There are 2 leaders in steals right now. And I thought that showed a lot about the grittiness of this group. And I think it even kind of gave us more confidence heading into Saturday, too, just because a lot of guys had to go out of their roles a little bit more. And good and bad at times, but it was just a good experience for this young group.
Well, I mean, we talked about them stats. I mean, they were a little bit deceiving at the end, but, in game, you were statistically so superior to Allegheny.
Yeah.
And Carl Yonku is a flat-out beast. But Yonku had his best game that I've ever seen.
Jan,
I mean,
yes.
on Saturday, he had what I thought he could be. I mean, he got 14 points, all from where he's supposed to be, around the basket.
Yep.
Putbacks in there. I really like this play. You're getting some, minutes and points from guys that I expected it to be before, but now they're coming.
Yeah, we kind of thought more of Jan going into the season, and we have higher expectations, and then just things kind of were off. And I would even say kind of like that stretch heading into Christmas, too. We saw him insert himself more, and it was just some tough matchups because those teams were a little smaller, and we couldn't – his minutes weren't there. But and he's asserting himself. That kid, he plays really hard. He's really physical. He's strong as an ox around the basket, and he's demanding the ball a lot more, and guys are trusting him again, and the ball's going down there, and he's making plays for him. And, I mean, even the Waynesburg game, he didn't score a lot. He got fouled 7 times, and that puts a lot of pressure on a defense when he's in there and he's sealing like that, and they have to do something but foul him. And the other thing with Jan is, I mean, he attacks the ball around the rim, on the offensive glass, and he's putting pressure there. And his brother, like you said, Carl Carl's continues to kind of just keep learning the game right now, the college game, when he can do things, when he can't. And, he got newcomer of the week again this week. He got that today. Good. Yeah, we found that out right before practice. And that's his second time as a freshman this year. And he deserved it. He played well both games. And, he was a man out there on Saturday. Just with his effort on both ends of the floor, his defense really was creating some havoc. Yeah.
Well, like the last time we talked on Saturday, you were happy about the fact that's 3 in a row at home.
Yes.
You're starting to dominate a little bit, control what's going to happen at Finnegan Fieldhouse,
yes.
Make it a tough place to play.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And even during break right now, we won 3 with our students there, which is,
challenge.
It is. Yeah, it's a different environment in there, but it shouldn't matter to us. And that's the thing I've been harping on these guys is that we have to it's just the way it goes. We have to take business in Steubenville, take care of business in Steubenville. We got to make teams when they get here. They got to feel uncomfortable about being here. And that's what we said going into it. Like, these guys, it ended up being that way, but none of these guys from Allegheny should have any comfort. They should be happy to be leaving town. And I don't care about saying that out loud. That's the way we want it to be. We want people when they come to Steubenville. Yeah, it's an attitude. They shouldn't be comfortable, and they should leave uncomfortable. Be happy to be like, I want to get out of this place. And we felt like we did that Saturday. Now that's over with, and then Wednesday's going to be another big one. All these games going forward are just that's what I told the guys today, is that they're a notch bigger than they were before. You keep taking care of business, they're a notch bigger, and we have a chance now that we're kind of in that right outside of it, kind of tied to be in the playoffs, and you get a win, you could maybe move yourself up to 4th. And you're saying that with a group that, as young as we are, at a lot of spots, we're starting 2 freshmen and guys that have been around, the roles have increased. We're giving ourselves a chance to keep. And I felt this way. I think I told you guys this before. I thought by the time we get to mid-January, I felt this team would be playing pretty good basketball, and we're getting to that point in mid-January, and just got to keep momentum. To me, you like to think it keeps going, but doesn't last until it's 6:30 Wednesday.
Ebbs and flows.
Yep.
You got Bethany coming in. A conference game.
Mm-hmm.
We got our schedule today. You play Bethany, then you're away for a couple.
Yes.
Then we'll be back on you on the 20th and the 24th. But let's talk a little bit about Bethany and the league and the standings as a whole.
Yeah, so Bethany, it's been almost 2 months ago. We played them up there, and they jumped us out the gate, and there's no excuse. We didn't play very well. We were kind of disjointed offensively then. We clawed ourselves back in it. We took a lead early second half, and there was a lot of frustration across the board. And then we kind of collapsed the last 6 minutes of that game. But Bethany's playing a lot better than they were last year. New coaches come in. They brought back a lot of their core, and a kid named Cole Daly from East Liverpool is playing really well. He's their best player. But they do a great job of spreading you out. They'll run 4 guards, and Cole Daly as their 5 is really a perimeter player. And it makes it tough to guard at times because you're constantly pulling help. But at the end of the day, we have to be us, and we win games by physicality. We win games by getting on the glass. We win games by our defense turning into offense and then allowing the flow to happen from there. But it should be a good matchup. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and they're a good group. I love watching the way they flow on the offensive end. They do a nice job of sharing the ball. They really have 5 guys on the floor that can score the ball. So we're going to have to be really locked in defensively and really have to be us. And I think we weren't us the first time. And what I mean by that is that they spread us out, and our help wasn't there. We weren't rotating enough. We didn't have quite the fly around that we needed to have, and they did beat us off the dribble a lot, especially in that second half. So,
Coach, you talk about not only Bethany but the league. The league's such a tough league.
Yep.
I've told you this time and time again how impressed I am, just with the quality of basketball that's played in the league. Where you see yourself in this league?
Ooh. Man, that's a tough question right now. Because we feel we can start taking some steps right now. But it doesn't – there's no games that you can look and be like, all right, if we just play decent, we should win.
That's my point. You got to be at your best.
You just saw W&J was a preseason number 1. They're in last place right now. They had a 4-point lead on St. Vincent, who's undefeated right now.
You got them coming up
4-point lead with, a minute left, and St. Vincent's been finding ways to really get things done. late game. They've won a lot of close games recently. So that just shows you everything you need to know about the league. You got a team in last place, and it has one conference win. You have a team in first place that it's undefeated, and they basically had that game. They could have 4-point lead with a minute left. So we got Bethany. Then we do go there, and St. Vincent is physical, athletic, and they're talented. I mean, their record shows that, and it doesn't. Yeah, then you go from there to I think Grove City, who we had a dogfight here with them back in. I
think
around
we were there for that game.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, Nick Aliano hit that big 3 to win that game. So that's going to be another dogfight, but it's just nonstop. Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Keeping these guys, that's the thing. You just got to keep them focused right now. Focused on practice every day. Just keep focusing on what we're doing and not worry about anything else. And they've done a pretty good job of that for the most part. You can see the little bit of a dip at times, but I mean, I think going into Wednesday night, I think we're going to have a pretty together team like we've had the last few years.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at it. I mean, like we say they're young. They're kids. They're 20 years old and whatever, but knowing the fact that this year you got a team that can compete.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
believe that.
Oh yeah, we know that. Oh, there's no doubt.
You got a team that you can compete.
We can beat anybody on the schedule.
Absolutely, and you look at that, and I concern myself with not only the physical part of it, because you got to go against these teams. If you don't go, they're going to beat you up. But then the mental part of knowing we got to be ready. If not, we can get embarrassed. I mean, and that's tough on that's tough on the coaching staff, on the team. I mean, you are the Franciscan University. Picked a heck of a conference. I love the conference, but it's a heck of a conference to compete in.
Yes, it is, and we have to just that's like what you said. And that's one thing we can't get caught up in. Yeah, we're going to scout who we're playing and what their tendencies are and personnel and what all that stuff. But we have to continue to just keep focus on us getting better and keep improving. Like, today they lifted in the morning. We have to continue to just keep lifting through the season. That's just who our team is. Like, we got to keep getting stronger. We got to be stronger at the end of the year because that's who we are. We're a team that's built on physicality, toughness, and the better we can be like that. Same thing in practice today. We had great energy. And that's you got a kid like Nick Alianello. Nick does a great job, like every day, everything we're in, of just bringing energy to this group and bringing leadership like that. And he did a heck of a job on Saturday too. I mean, he made a couple big energy plays. And
he sure did.
But there's all those intangibles that he's constantly talking to everybody, and we've got to get a little bit better of that as a group on the floor. Is our on-court communication something we keep harping on and. Yeah, and we can go down the line and you can get yourself all stressed out about who you have to play coming up, but we have to just continue to keep focus on what we can do right now.
I see Saturday I noticed that you were coming with the boy from Pittsburgh Central Catholic. What's his name?
Tommy Christian.
The freshman, and you played a freshman out of Dublin.
Yes. James Mahallam. Yep.
Mahallam. Okay, Mahallam on that.
Yeah.
You're freshman heavy, Coach. What's your time?
Yeah, and those two guys.
I mean, but they're good freshmen.
They are, yeah. And Tommy Christian played at Pitt Central Catholic. Who was the best team in the Western PA last year, and played with a lot of talented guys, and had to earn his way into the lineup. And Tommy's always just taken a lot of pride in being a blue collar player. Can guard, he talks, he's physical, and he's still learning the offensive end a little bit better, but he gets after it. James can handle the basketball from Dublin. James has got a lot of confidence in himself. I think you can tell right now, like he's not afraid to put the ball on the floor and try to make plays. And he took some shots, and we want him to when he's in the game. That's part of what his DNA is. The other freshman that was out for a while, he had a high ankle sprain, was Aiden Townsend. He was a long athlete, and he's been back in practice
from
now.
Beaver.
Yes, another one from Beaver, and he's starting to get himself back into the mix a little bit right now too. He's working his way, sitting out for that long with that with an ankle sprain, high ankle sprain. But yeah, we're hoping to get him back into some minutes here soon because right out of the gate, he played in game 1 and game 2, limited minutes, but he was getting some seasoning then, and we need to get him back out there too here soon.
How tough do you think it is for these freshmen to come and compete at the level that you need them to compete at to win in this league?
Depends what their DNA is, as you can tell. I think Sawyer.
I mean, they look like they're trying to accept the challenge.
Yeah, they definitely are. And that's the one thing is that the guys that are the ones that are taking on that role of being able to get in there. Like Sawyer and Carl right away, they weren't going to back down from anybody. They just that's in their DNA, and then learning things from there. And both of them play extremely hard. And I think you can tell we take a pretty high value in that, and they both in both ends of the floor. They're, and now it's the mental part. Keep learning. Tommy Christian's just step by step. James was step by step too, and then Aiden was learning all that stuff. But Aiden is a very athletic, long, versatile wing. We kind of felt like he was kind of moving himself up there in the preseason just because he could make plays. He was getting on the glass. He could fly around, get deflections defensively, and it kind of stunted his growth a little bit. But now he's back in the mix a little bit. But it makes it tougher. To kind of get yourself back in the rotation when you have to play every Wednesday, Saturday. So you got to really kind of fast forward things in practice. Yeah. So,
all right, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good. That's what we want. We want to continue to keep building that depth up. And then, I mean, and then we hit it back again. And, like Bellissimo and Darrow, those guys have been giving us good minutes there, too, at the guard spot. And we just got to, we go in, and that's one thing I tell these guys, is like we go into one game, matchups could dictate minutes more for a certain guy, maybe minutes pulled from somebody else based off of how we have to play that, against that matchup. And it will be different against Bethany too. That's just the way it goes. And it's tough. I get it as a kid, like, you're expecting to play a certain amount, and anybody, they want to play as much as they can. But certain times, like, we got to hit the right buttons. And, and I thought in the second half against Allegheny, I thought Tommy Christian and James needed to be on the floor more just because of their defensive fly around. They were really just, they were engaged with the game plan, and those guys were ball hawks. And I felt like they could really help provide a little bit more lift, for us at the guard spots, and they did. Yep.
All right. This is Joe Wallace, head coach, Franciscan University of Steubenville, along with Ray Suckarch here and Danny Vogel. We're at the Harp and the Habit, Steubenville's Irish Pub. First time back. We'll see you again, Coach, in 2 weeks. We'll be back down here Monday night. In the meantime, pick up some wins. You got Bethany Wednesday. We'll be back to see you on the 20th. And thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, that's going to do it for this session. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.